Hey guys, so for today's video, I created this kind of matte magenta smoky eye and I used the ColourPop Fine Feathered palette. So if you want to see how I got this look and my thoughts on this palette, go ahead and keep on watching. Alright, my eye is primed with the concealer and a loose setting powder. Now let's get started. I'm going to start with the Sigma E25 in the shade High Flying, and this shade's going to go in my crease. I'm also going to add this shade to kind of the outer half of my lid and just right out here so it connects in my crease. Now I'm going to switch to a Sigma E42 in the shade Nest Egg, and I'm going to use this to kind of deepen up the crease, and I switched to a smaller brush, but this shade's looking super pigmented. Whoa. I wiped off the excess product on this brush because it was getting a little bit crazy, so now I'm just going to use this brush to blend. I'm also going back to my E25 and just blending out all these edges, just making sure this shade is nice and kind of diffused and blown out. Now I'm going to take a Sigma E54 in the shade Telltale, and I'm going to pack this shade all over my lid. And then taking the tiniest bit of that same shade on my E25, and I'm just going to softly blend that in the crease to make sure kind of that magenta crease shade is blending nicely with this purple lid shade. Now I'm going to go back to my E42 with more of the shade Nest Egg, and I'm going to blend that along my entire lower lash line. Now I'm just going to take any kind of skin tone blending shade and just soften the lower parts of this pink shade. Now I'm going to take my favorite black liner pencil, which is the Haus Labs Kohl Eyeliner in Punk, and I'm going to run that in my waterline. And I'm going to go back to that shade Telltale on a Sigma E21 and kind of smudge that across the lower lash line. And then I'm also going to add some liner on my top lash line. And doing the same exact thing with the E21. Now I'm going to take the shade Tweet Me on a Sigma LO4. I'm going to use this shade to highlight. Now I'm gonna go pop on some mascara and lashes. All right, my lashes are on. I'm wearing my Bright Lashes in the style Lush. I honestly don't wear these lashes very often, but like I just opened a brand new pair and these just look so good. Like, ooh, I need to wear these more often. I'm kind of having some mixed feelings about this palette. Like, yes, the shades in this palette are gorgeous, but I feel like there's not a lot of variety in this palette of the looks you could create, which is kind of why I went just with like a simple matte smoky eye today. Like these three shades right here are they're pretty similar to each other, and I kind of wish that maybe like this one or this one was shimmery, because this is the only shimmer in the palette other than this one, but this shade I always go for as a highlight shade. And this shade does have a tiny bit of sparkle in it, but it won't really show up because it does have a matte base. So I just kind of feel like you're limited to the looks you can create with this palette. But if you're obsessed with these colors and you like these types of colors, you probably would like this palette. I'm sure you guys know that purple shades are just very hard to make in general for eyeshadow. And like I had very little fallout the whole time. The shades blended really well, so the shadows did work very nicely, but I don't really see myself reaching for this palette again. But let me know your thoughts on this palette and whether or not you picked it up. I would love to know, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.